Hey everybody, Patrick Hostis here. This is what I woke up to this morning. Actually, my commute to work today, happened incidentally right next to where I live. My commute was fine. Nothing had happened at that point. Apparently, this train had derailed about 7:45 a.m. Pacific time, and I was already at work at that time. But when I was in the parking lot at my job, all of a sudden a bunch of ambulances and police and everybody were rushing by. So I turned on the police scanner and heard about it, and they immediately shut down I-5. So a lot of people that go from Tacoma or Seattle or any of that and work in Olympia or areas south of there, they couldn't get to work. So it was kind of interesting. There was hardly anybody in Olympia. There wasn't a lot of people on the road or much of a commute today because there was hardly anybody who was able to get down there. Um, it looks like I just looked on Drudge and they're saying there's about six, possibly more dead. That's what they're saying on Drudge anyway. One person I know was either in a vehicle or on the train itself. I don't know which way, but they were taken to the hospital. Apparently not in severe bad shape or anything, but they're taking a lot of folks to the hospital just to be sure, or, be safe and be able to give them a thorough examination. Um, the the really there's so many rumors already that are coming out now. A lot of people, you can see in this video right here, that bridge with the graffiti on it. I've grown up literally looking at that bridge. I mean, my whole life I've seen that bridge. After I joined the military, came back, that bridge was still there, all that. It was still there, still the same all these years of my life. So it is an old bridge, that's for sure. I think they've done some work on it, but they were renovating that whole area for months because every time I drive by, it would kind of make me angry because all the traffic was congested here because they kept working on stuff. So I can't tell you exactly what they were working on, but they were doing something in that area. So there's been a lot of theories put forth already about what may have caused this. I think it's way too early to say with any kind of precision exactly what did happen. I do think it's just kind of suspicious that it derailed right where it did. Because I remember, from reading French, World War II books about the French resistance and stuff like that. They love derailing trains off of bridges and tunnels were their favorite targets. And all partisan groups and stuff have picked that up, and it's a guerrilla warfare tactic, so it's not hard to learn these things. So I find it a little suspicious that it kind of all places right there. Now, like I said, that bridge is very old. You can see in this video here, I mean, it's an old bridge, and apparently that crap on there, that graffiti says something about a hood rat or something. I don't know, some stupid ghetto slang. I don't know why that crap's up there. It's always had something painted on it my whole life, every time I've, driven there, but I don't know how long that specific phrase has been on there. I bet you they'll start cleaning that crap up now that the whole city's going to be, Dupont area and Tacoma is going to be known because of that dumb phrase on that stupid bridge, but whatever. Anyway, the point is, it's a little unusual that it derailed right at that point. Now, this was the first time this particular train, I guess, was going down there. This fast train, I guess, is supposed to go like 80 miles an hour. But the thing is, I've seen trains go up and down this thing all the time, and I'm talking huge, uh, container trains, like the ones that hold oil, big, huge, I don't know how many thousands of gallons or whatever, but they're really heavy cars, cargo cars. And I see them going back and forth on this. And in fact, where one of these I don't know if it's this one, but one of these lines breaks off and goes near my house down a ways also. So, this is a pretty common in this area, and I think this train, from what I've seen in my life, it's used frequently. So I just find it a little weird. Now, it could be that this train was going too fast and it derailed. I heard somebody say on the local news this morning that this train was a half hour behind. So I don't know. Maybe they were going a little too fast and it flipped a corner. But the AP reported this morning also that one of the officials reported to them that it was possibly something it looked like the train had hit something that was on the track. Well, I mean, come on, that's, look at these pictures here of it. I mean, I don't know. I honestly, I'm not a train expert. I'm just saying I find it a little suspicious that it kind of went off right where it did. Um, but it's a tragedy. I mean, a lot of people are, this is a big deal up here in Washington State. I don't know how big of an impact it is nationwide, but I think if it turns out to be sabotage or terrorism, the impact's going to be a lot bigger, and the story will obviously become a lot bigger. But I'm not so certain that's what it is. I have no idea. I'm just kind of waiting like everybody else. I can't get down to that area. It's impossible to get down there. And if I do, it'll be almost impossible for me to get back home because they have all the southbound lanes shut down. So I can't really try anything to get some footage to show you guys. But I will try to get some when they open this up a little bit and I can get by. Because I'm retired military, I can get on and off Fort Lewis right there. So that happened right next to Fort Lewis, incidentally, if any prior military guys are watching me. So if you're the Army, that's right next to Fort Lewis. If it in near McCord, if you're in the Air Force, but yeah, it's right in that area. Madigan Army Hospital, Dupont. For those of you, if you go down this road right in this image here, and you kept going to the left of your screen down there, you'd hit Nisqually and then Lacey and Olympia and Tumwater is how it goes. But yeah, it's a big deal. It's a big tragedy, and I like I said, I know of one person I know fairly well that was involved in this, and I haven't heard about anybody else. You want something that made my heart stop today is my daughter was supposed to ride this train like I think it was sometime next week or something, and so yeah, that's not going to happen obviously. But that's one of those things. Actually, the spot that she would ride it on, it wouldn't go across this bridge, but still, it doesn't make me feel any better because, I mean, if it does turn out to be sabotage or something like that, that's going to open up a whole new can of worms. I mean, look at the cars just dangling off of there. Oh, it's crazy. And I also heard that there was no motorists killed, which is amazing when these cars were coming down. I believe it was 8 cars that came down. Also, another thing pointing to the sabotage stuff was, I guess, Mike Cernovich. Those of you familiar with him, he came out and said that, I mean, he dug up some website or posting or something from Antifa where they talked about derailing trains back in April in this area to stop fracking or some garbage like that. So, anyway, they said about using concrete or whatever to derail the train. So, Cernovich and them were kind of saying, well, maybe they did it, and what kind of points to either I don't know what it points to actually, but Antifa or whoever, however the stuff was posted or whatever, it was removed today, but people had taken, they can get to it through the archive, so it's deleting something off the internet doesn't actually get rid of it, just FYI. But anyway, so I don't know. I don't know. There's a lot of Antifa folks up here. I can vouch for that. I live here, so I'm kind of the minority in this area, but I don't know. I'm not a train expert, but it looks bad, and it was really bad for the people caught up in this, and it's probably going to cause a lot of problems tomorrow too. But I'll do another report when I can get some more information or they release something else. But I'll get you some raw video of that area as soon as I can get down there. All right, this has been Patrick Hostis.